Nation back with fellow podcaster. Wish I could drive the traffic he does. It's Dave Sobel out of Washington, D.C. How you doing?
I'm great, Harry. Always nice to catch up.
Absolutely. So this is a really timely quarterly reconnect with you because you have just returned from the CompTIA Channelcon Conference in Chicago just last week. And I really haven't talked to too many people about how it went. Now, that said, applause for the magnification up on Facebook with the photos, right? Facebook tends to magnify anything. And the photos look great. I mean, there was a boat ride, there was hugs and kisses and cheers and beers. That part looked great for someone sitting in Austin, Texas. But what was the real story? What went on at ChannelCon?
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't say I did a whole 45-minute live stream that's available on my YouTube channel if people want to go deep. And what I'll start with is kind of my headline there is Todd Thibodeaux, who's the CEO, laid out his vision for for CompTIA, the organization, and the educational direction they're going to go in. And everyone should remember that their primary business is certifications. We all know A+, but they have 30-some certifications across the gambit that are great entry-level pieces. And Todd laid out a vision for this, which I'm willing to say, like, okay, I will nod off and say that seems like a very sensible direction for the org to go on, trying to expand the workforce and trying to bring more people to the table and bring into the tech industry. I'm on board with that, and I think it's an admirable set of goals. The proof is in the pudding. It's a bit of a vision. I want to see that executed, right? So, but if you lay out your vision and you want people to get behind it, I'm willing to nod off on that. What was actually then the next piece was, so the event kind of breaks out into their CompTIA Partner Summit, which is the piece that is the training portion, those trainers and such. So I didn't attend that. I attended ChannelCon. And I will observe that from my perspective, there was a big disconnect between what Todd was saying on stage is the priorities versus all of the content that was presented at ChannelCon. It wasn't about training your people. It wasn't about leveraging training. It was the committee breakouts for managed services and security and diversity. And then I went to a metaverse breakout. I went to marketing managed services digitally. I attended a number of different sessions, and I'll say I was actually kind of disappointed. The committee meetings, the committees decided to spend their time on a game show. Okay. That's a choice. I went to a metaverse session. I've had some people talking about both crypto and metaverse on my show. And I found that the presentation was a lot of buzzword salad. It wasn't actually a lot of tangible, actionable stuff. The digital marketing presentation didn't go into e-commerce. It didn't address, the strategies for true digital acquisition. It was very high level. And I will just say, I am one of those people that does look for content in an event, not just parties and networking, which, by the way, are important. I think it's important to spend time networking. It's important to interact with other people. So that was kind of my high level impression of that. There were a lot of, there were roughly 300 to 400 people there. There was a lot of energy to that because, of course, people are seeing one another for the first, maybe the second time in a while. So there's a lot of reconnection and rekindling. So that causes a lot of positive energy. And so, it's an opportunity. There's lots of smiling faces because these are a lot of people that you like doing business with. So you got a good vibe from that.
Yeah. Did couple of questions just based on my own experience at ChannelCon, and unfortunately the stars didn't align this year. But one observation is I've actually liked ChannelCon in the past because I'm going in typically is hosted media, and my job is to interview, the different constituencies, right? The vendors and the attendees, and the 9-year-old kid that's parading around the vendor floor with his dad, right? So father son. I'm sure you saw one or two of those. Those are always fun. So I have a different experience. Honestly, I'm not as I don't attend as many lectures as you do. I know you do, but I'm kind of there for some different reasons, and so I enjoy the kissing babies and shaking hands with the vendors and so on. So I have a typically different experience. But Dave, what I'll find because the lectures may not be completely relevant to what I do day to day, is I'll find myself kind of popping up to my hotel room in the afternoon and working for 90 minutes on email, right? Instead of going to lecture. And so there's part of your answer, right? My behavior is part of your answer. But, looking at the show overall, what do you, these boards and stuff, what's next? Are you on some of the boards?
I'm not. So, and by the way, I went in with a media pass as well. So my attendance this year was to cover the event. And I'll freely admit that my angle on what I'm looking for is I want to understand what's being talked about. I want to get a sense of what the organization's trying to drive and what the messages being delivered are, because I'm looking for trends, right? So I'm going to be leaning in heavily on attending content to see what's being talked about, because my expectation would be that drives the conversations in the hallway, that drives the interactions. So that's where my head is at when I cover an event now going forward, is I want to know what people are talking about to watch for trends. And so that's the big piece. These are always about what you are going to do. I tend to think that you want to be looking for new trends. You want to be looking for new direction, get strategy, what's going on. And you can get that in lots of different ways. And that's the way that I was trying to get that sense.
All right. So when we get you back in Q4, what shows can we expect you will have attended? DattoCon should be a no-brainer with Washington, D.C.
My request for a media pass was denied, so I will not be attending DattoCon.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Anything else on the horizon between now and, say, mid-November? So that would include IT Nation. Maybe we'll catch you after that. I'm
in some discussions. I don't have anything other to announce right now.
Okay. Good Lord, you politician. All right, man. Hey, take care. Thanks for hanging with us. I'll see you at Q4.
Sounds good. Talk to you then.
All right. Bye-bye.